There is a slim chance we won't win the league. So the title of the last video does seem premature. Welcome back. How are we doing, folks? Welcome back to another video of AFC Thames with me, DoctorBenjyFM. Good to see you. I hope I find you extraordinarily well. There's a difference between talking into the microphone and talking into the microphone. Audio with Ben. Welcome to another episode of Audio with Ben. Really original, creative title, that, Ben. So then, since we last met, I proclaimed ourselves champions of League One. We're 9th after 7 games. Some of you expected this, didn't you? Be honest. And I've got a whole list of excuses. So let's go through those. All right. First one is this is premature. I don't think we are the best team in League One. That's not really an excuse, is it? There are other teams that are quite good, apparently. Second excuse. Injuries. So far this season, if you take a look at the players that have been missing, don't worry so much about RodeNT, although that's obviously annoying, and Paul Ellison's got one as well. Below and Solomon have both missed 3 weeks, 28% of the season so far. Barras has missed a little bit. King Carroll has missed some too. O'Reilly, Stone, they've all missed a few games here or there, and as a result of that, the consistency has been a real trouble for us. So there's excuse number 2. Excuse number 3, doing videos in 3 parts now. Speaking of which, if you didn't watch my reaction to the England Euro squad, did a video on that yesterday. It wasn't Thames, but still good content, right? 1,000 of you liked it, so I appreciate that. Thank you for watching it. We're trying something different. I'll make a video about it soon. Oh yeah, international duty. It all links, viewers. It all links. I'm missing players for this upcoming game through international duty. I'm going to play. I've set this up for a classic DoctorBenjy failure, really. Crawley Town and Chesterfield. If we take a look at the league table, just to give you some context. Crawley Town, mid-table side, much like ourselves at the moment, but either of us win that game and suddenly we catapult ourselves into contention, and then after that we play Chesterfield, who so far are the only side in the division to have not lost a game. So we're going to try and put the hurt on them, viewers, like a back alley gang or something. I don't know. I've seen films. But speaking of the international duty issue that we've got ourselves, not only is Barras suspended for this, got himself sent off in a game recently where we were leading 1-0 and then lost it. So, shout out to Barras. Doherty, sorry, not Doherty, no C in it, man. Come on, you've been told, the comments are on you. And Welsh as well is missing too, so he and Doherty will miss this, at least this first game. Are they away for a while? They'll be back on the 11th of September. Let's just take a look here then. They're missing both games today, just great news. Canon will be in goal, then Cook, O'Reilly, Packham, Blake, Stone, Russell, Teta, Reed, and Below and Solomon up front. Good to have them back together up front. Finally, if you take a look at our recent fixtures, then you can see in the southern section, Group A, where we crushed Southampton on the 23s. What a highlight for us. Lost to Crystal Palace on penalties in the League Cup. That will happen to me on a regular basis. Defeats to Crewe and Plymouth. A little bit embarrassing. This was the red card situation, though. You see, look, we were leading. Everything was going well. Sending off after 9 minutes. Crumbled. So it'll happen, viewers. As I said, in Crawley and Chesterfield to come. I'll run you through the team. Let's get into the action. Actually, before we do that, and something I forgot to mention, just minor news, really. Chelsea are our affiliate now. We changed Fulham to Chelsea. Chelsea are better. Chelsea are so good, they won't loan me any players because we're not up to standard. Why bother then? The money's the same. They're giving me the same amount of money. Crawley Town. Here we go. I've shaved my face today a little bit as well. So if that's freaking you out, thinking, oh, he looks older. Oliver Blake, by the way, 6.53 this season. I was so excited about you, mate. I couldn't have been more happy. And now I'm looking at MacArthur thinking you are just so much better in terms of well-rounded left-backs that I'm going to make a move that I wasn't expecting to make. There's only so many times I can be impressed by like good acceleration. Well, competent defending will do. All right, Crawley Town. They've got Pedro Perez in there, which I do quite like, actually, if I'm honest. Savage, I've played him before, nearly signed him once. Eze Whittingham, a danger man. So let's see how we get on. Back with the football manager. Will we win the game? We haven't looked back since the Vanarama National. It'll never be the same. Flipping out. That was a bit wordy, wasn't it? Ball shouldn't have done it, viewers. Shouldn't have done it. But, you've expected not much else. Oh, Reed there has rode the challenge. Oh, it's like can you be here all the time? Because he's not done that for a few games. It's 1-0 after 4 minutes. Incoming red card, anybody? He's been one of the constants in our side, it must be said. But the striking duo has mixed around quite a bit, and it's not really been consistent. We've had to try all sorts up there. Tete played there for a little bit. That didn't work at all. Reed, though, gives us the 1-0 lead. A great goal. And I don't want to say we're going to win the league, because that would be demonstrably untrue. so I won't. We've got a throw in though. MacArthur, of course, getting a start today. Solomon whipped in. Reed's there, but volleys over. We've had the same stadium for 16 years. I'd love to increase it a bit. 30 minutes gone. Are we going to do this short? Because we love a short corner. But Reed into Russell, who's playing inside today. Stone's there. Oh, that looked absolutely bizarre. I thought it was going into the top corner. It was actually coming straight at me, viewers. Holding a 1-0 lead. All the sides around us, though, appear to be winning as well, which is very frustrating because it means we don't move anywhere at all. We're 8th right now. And if we win our next game against Chesterfield, all bets are off. We are suddenly right in there, and because they're top of the league, it draws them in a little bit. It gets us closer to them. You can see Crew currently winning their game at the moment against Warsaw, so they're pushing themselves higher up. No changes made at half-time. Obviously, things are pretty good right now. Fitness concerns are evident, but we don't have to make any changes right now. I'd like a second goal, really, before we decide to make a few changes, because the team so far this season have looked good in patches again. To be leading and then to have a red card sort of dismantle everything, as we've hit the post, very, very, very close range. You can't really account for that, right? And the injuries as well. Based on my starting 11, which is pretty close today, actually, I thought we had a real good chance of doing something this season. Of course, we're missing our goalkeeper. We're missing a good central midfielder. But the rest of the team, especially offensively, right, the 2 wide players and the 2 strikers, is as you'd expect. 20 minutes to go, as we've got a highlight there, but we're going to make a change. Kean Carroll is going to come on. Reed is struggling a little bit, so he's going to come off. Blake, I might play Blake. Do you know, I'm going to play Renatino out on the left-hand side, which seems a little odd, but it's a move we're going to make. And then Solomon up front, Cooney's going to come on for him. Very quick Cooney, of course. Not necessarily as good technically, but still decent. A triple change with 20 minutes to go. Those players that were feeling a little bit tighter are going to go off. I realised that if we're going to concede here, that would be bad. Tete, the deep line playmaker, finds Solomon. Well, he's going to be going off. Can he end with a goal? He can't, and that's why he's going off. Missing chances galore so far. Hit the post, and then that one was... Well, it was clear, right? The way we've dominated this game, it's set up here, viewers, to concede late. They've had 1 shot, 1 on target, a 0.06 XG. We've got, again, a short corner. They're not marking it, which gives us a lot of time to pick a perfect cross. The ball's headed clear, and don't you even think about it, Football Manager. I am not in the... Oh, don't you dare. Out on the left-hand side, O'Connell racing forward. Don't foul him. He's open. I can't believe it. I'm in disbelief, viewers. That was our corner. That was our corner. We've been mullered, viewers. We've been mullered. I feel mullered. Ball out to the left hand side. I actually can't believe it. I mean, that's going to make their XG a bit higher. It's a blatant. I mean, are you kidding? Maybe I should have waited for the second goal. Maybe I should have waited to go 2-0 up. We are minutes away from devastation. How exciting. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going for the winner. I'm not interested in drawing 1-1 with Crawley. Oh, highlight viewers. Now we're talking. What are they doing? They've gone 4-2-3-1. There's about 2 minutes or so left to go as we have flicked on. Oh, look at the overload we've got in the centre there. Played forward. Below. Huge chance for Below. Come on, my boy. That's what we're talking about. We're back. Cooney played it forward. And now defend. For heaven's sake, defend. We'll take the goal all day long. Bring them all back. You know, just like the S Club 7 sing about that. Bring it all back to you. That's the one. That works. Okay, good. 2 minutes to go. All we've got to do is hold on now. Changes have been made. I forgot to pause it, so those changes won't take effect until this highlight is over. As, oh God, okay, safety first from Canon. They've got a free kick in the final minute of the game. Don't do this to me, Football Manager, please. You've already hurt me once today. They've had absolutely no chance in any game, and now Carroll, the acceleration of Carroll, we could be on for a third. Carroll racing forward. It's almost a 3v1 with his pace. He finds Cooney. He's in acres of space, viewers. Oh, this keeper's a magician. I was going to call him a magic man, and then I realised that magician was the terminology that's used to describe magic men or women. MacArthur, short again. It's very difficult to stop this when we play it, so I say very difficult to stop it. They literally countered and scored from it moments ago. MacArthur's shot goes sailing wide, and that'll do for me. Somehow, viewers, we're going to get out of this with a win. It was not exactly convincing. Blimey, there we are then, full time, as you never get to see yourself punch the air. Really quite annoying, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. There we are then, good stuff from us. Dominated that game for very large spells. The fact that we had to get a last minute winner is annoying. Anyway, Chesterfield next, and all the things I said before about it being very, very close and us bringing it all tighter together at the top of the table are certainly true. So let's go forward then. Chesterfield coming up, I can't wait. Missing 2 key players for a top of the table clash, so if we lose, we've already got the excuse pre-planned. In fact, I'll write that as number 4. Key players missing top of table clash. I like to keep notes. What can I say? Right, we're only playing 3 days' time, so we're going to rest the boys. They certainly need it, so hopefully they're fully recovered by the time we get there. All right, then, team-wise, it seems foolish to change a winning side, especially when you can't bring in the players that would like make the team better. Russell gets a start in central midfield. He's a really interesting player for me because he's on loan from Millwall. We had him last year. I thought he was going to be a consistent centre-back option for us, but it just hasn't really ever worked out like that. And because he's just got these decent defensive attributes, he's quite good at being a box-to-box midfielder, especially when he's got really good stamina too. Of course, that's probably one of the key elements. Lacking on the dribbling and the first touch, again, more of a centre-back, but seems to fill in these central roles really well. So, again, why change something that's working? I feel like if it's continuing to work, especially in the absence of Welsh, we'll go with it. It means O'Reilly comes in at the back and we keep our 5 loan options with Welsh missing. So it all works out in the end, viewers. Here we are then, second game. Let's see if we can get the win. Stick Cabbage on the bench. Why not? You don't have 2 goalkeepers. You don't need 2 goalkeepers in a game. You just risk an outfield player. He's really good in goal. When I was growing up, I was that player. As much as I was extraordinarily talented outfield, if our goalkeeper got injured, that's that moment where everyone sort of goes, oh no, and then everyone sort of in tandem goes, you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, fine. Getting on some sweaty gloves from a child that's already worn them. Horrible, horrible. Deciding whether to take your actual shirt off and just play with the white t-shirt you've got underneath, or trying to put on a goalkeeper top, which is usually not quite fitting properly. Solomon's in on goal, viewers. It's a wonderful save. If you were ever sort of the go-to backup goalkeeper, you know exactly what I was talking about. Of course, I was very talented as a goalkeeper, as my stream viewers know. Feel free to watch me live occasionally over on Twitch. I'm there sometimes. All right, Chesterfield have got a throw-in, but in a really deep area of the pitch, which I find usually brings about attacks for the team who are attacking that end, as that's not what's happening at all. They've cleared the ball really well. Maybe the Football Manager's match engine has improved so much so that doesn't happen. I feel like it used to be the case where they would have a throw in deep in their half, they would throw it to you, you'd score every single time. Clearly, that's not the case this time, as they're having some really nice possession, and we're trying to press it actually quite well, but we're not winning it back, as they're now through on goal. The press there, oh, it was so good, viewers. They've arrowed it through, and Robert Arrowsmith has scored. Chesterfield lead 1-0. They're top of the league for a reason, viewers. And we're missing key players, so make a note of that. Let's write down 1-0. There we go. Let's start that with. Just making notes, viewers. Just making notes. All right, so we're 1-0 down at home. They've had one shot. We've got a throw-in. Now, in my experience, throw-ins often lead to great chances for your team. As Solomon, you're supposed to be good, mate. Is Solomon one of these strikers that only plays well on the right-hand side of a 2? He's got no side preference, viewers. Just look at me hovering over things. It's like Zealand. It's a joke, viewers. Relax. He's right only, so maybe having him on that side is better for him. Below's there as well as the poacher. We'll just switch him around. Maybe he just prefers to be on that side, shooting across goal, rather than having to try and sort of angle things slightly differently. Below, we know, can play either side, really. So we'll change things around just a touch, see if we get the best out of Solomon. That's the key here this season. If we get both strikers scoring, of course, we had Ollie do it last season. It was so pivotal to our successes. So we need that to happen again, really, because goals coming from other areas. We've seen Reed so far this year get a couple of goals, of course. We need to see Stone do it on the other side. So Riley cleans up out there and does really well. Canon has been decent in the absence of Doherty. He's had to play a few more games than I would have anticipated. A couple of cup games in there as well. As Stone racing forward on this side. We've got options in there if you can find one. He goes front post towards below. It's knocked down. Solomon's there. He sort of had one shot, then jumped for some reason. So far, Chesterfield still only with that one shot on target, but this is probably why they're top of the table. They've had that one shot on target and scored it. They're forward again, played into the centre. It's a bit of a mess. We get it clear just about as below flicks on towards the main man Solomon, but it doesn't happen this time for us. Still 1-0 Chesterfield, and look at the match stats suggest that this tide could turn at any moment. And then at half time, let's take a few looks at a few things, as they're playing incredibly deep. You can see because we've switched the strikers round, it looks like there's only one striker out there, but of course over the course of the second half that will change a little bit. So the way we're playing's fine. I actually don't think this is one of those games where I should change anything. We've been a little bit unlucky that it's not fallen our way, and they've scored their one big chance, so we need just to have a few more of those, really. I'm going to go slightly more direct with our passing. That's the only thing I'm going to change. I think everything else is pretty simple, but I think if we can look for maybe balls in behind a little bit more, Stone goes very direct with his passing towards below, doesn't quite get in, but those are the sort of situations we want to find ourselves in, as Stone does really well to win the ball back, as now both strikers racing forward. Stone's got to play the perfect pass. Oh, Solomon's nipped in there on the wrong side. I've put you on the other side, you fool. Stone puts it back in. Reed's there. He's going to keep this alive, you'd hope. Goes back to Cook. Back inside, maybe. No, it's not really quite working for us, but we pick up the ball again with Reed. Of course, we've got that option to move Reed to the attacking left position that he can play, and maybe bring on Keane Carroll if we want to change things up, and again utilise that pace, maybe have those players a little bit more advanced. As Below's in, well, he's nabbed in, poaching his way through as Gypsy, wonderful stuff from Below into the top corner. Thames 1, Chesterfield 1, and again, this is a huge game in the context of the season. A win here would be huge. They just a lack of concentration back there, and this finish from Below, again, it's really, really cultured. 1-1, half an hour to go. We'll encourage the boys, see if we can get a final bit of performance out of them. Reed struggling again for a little bit of fitness, still trying to recover from a few games ago. I think it might be worth taking him off. Again, Keane Carroll has got so much pace. You get him on the ball, things will happen. But the quality, the overall quality of Reed is what would be lacking if we take him off, as they keep the ball quite nicely here. We're not really shifting across quick enough, as that ball forward is a little bit easy. The shot goes in very, very close. 20 minutes to go. I think this is why I brought Keane Carroll in, for moments like this. Winger attack. You'll all have noticed as well. I've just realised I totally forgot to mention it. We've been playing Reed as a wide playmaker on that side, looking for those passes to the front players. We were finding that he was getting too isolated at games, wasn't being utilised. When you make someone a playmaker, especially in four, across a four, usually players will look for that playmaker more often. So that was the logic behind the switch. I realise now at the nearly end of the episode that I forgot to mention it. We're going to shorten our passing, try and keep it a little better. We've been really good here against Chesterfield. Can we create now a nice little move, or should we have continued on the path of directness as they're in here a little bit at least? They've got a lot of men piling forward, but not really at any great speed. Smith volleys. I think that's hit Canon rather than Canon saves it, but we'll take it. It still counts, as with the time dwindling down. 1-1. How do we feel about that, viewers? I'm not too sure. It's a frustration. Not enough shots on target. I think that's something to be said. But you look at where our shots were, all inside the penalty area, just not quite accurate enough. We dominated a side that are top of the league table. That may have given Crew actually the advantage to now leapfrog Chesterfield. But I think overall, as far as the two games go, we can be happy with 4 points from these two. Chesterfield are still top of the table. Crew won their game, but it wasn't quite enough of a goal difference swing. I think if we'd have beaten them, Crew would have gone top, of course. But there we are then, 15 points from 9 games. I've said now, minimum, we have to be in the playoff conversation. Chesterfield are a decent side, a side that came up with us, of course, as well. So we know that we're around that level. There's still more work to be done, though, and I want to get into that playoff situation. My concern is the likes of Blackburn, who aren't currently in there, will come on a little bit stronger. So we've got to make the most of these games if and when we can. But that's going to bring us to the end. If you've enjoyed today's video, please drop a like on it. Want to see some more? Make sure you subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, for a whole lot more of this. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We love with care from DoctorBenjy. Until next time, see you again very, very soon in a bit.